Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about a film I really love, and it's huge responsibility, even though I have already revealed this film to my blog. It's an Andalusian Dog, which is a short silent film produced in France in 1929 by Salvador Dali and Luis Buñuel. What a duo! And Salvador Dali himself has already said that nothing in this film is supposed to make sense. But I have always disagreed of that. Let's talk a little bit about the plot and see if it's really as meaningless as Salvador Dali himself says. I don't mean to know more about the film than the director himself, but let's analyze little by little. The film starts with a very shocking, iconic scene of a man who was smoking, sharpening a kind of razor, and then he touched the eye of a woman and apparently cut it off. Of course, that no human being was hurt in the making of this film. The cut was genuine, but it was the eye of a dead animal. It's shocking anyway because we can see the eye being cut. We can also see the moon, which gives to the audience the impression of a dream. And then we see a woman who was in the bedroom. And then there was a man who was in a really empty street with unusual clothes. He was riding a bicycle. Then he fell on the street. The woman came and helped him. We don't know if they have met before. What's the connection between those people? We don't know. What I feel when I see this scene of the guy on his bicycle, so lonely, is something that gives me a really touch of nostalgia, because we can see the old buildings of France and the streets empty. Life was slower. It's very interesting. Then we can see she's spreading his clothes on bed, and then it appears another guy, and he had ants on his hand, and it's a kind of symbolism of a wish to kill, and it can embody the feelings that human beings often have of doing evil things. And then another iconic scene of this film is a person with androgynous features. I really love this scene. In real life, the actress was a woman, and I find it really interesting, the androgyny of the person, because it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman, it's a human being. And the person is playing with a kind of can and a human hand. And we don't know if the person was blind. There's a crowd around the person. They try to do something, but the police prevents them. Then the policeman catches the hand, puts in a box, and gives the box back to the person. Then the crowd leaves, and the person starts walking down the street in the middle of the cars, until this person is hit by a car and killed. What I find interesting in this scene, and my interpretation, is that the crowds having a sort of entertainment with human suffering, but they do nothing. They just watch a kind of spectacle of the suffering of a person. Then the police help the person, and then no one cares. So a kind of spectacularization of suffering. then the person is killed, and that's it. The couple who was shown in the beginning of the film, they followed this event of the human hand from their window, and the man, he seems very impacted by this scene, impacted in a very negative way. Then he looked at the woman and he tried to sexually assault her, which is a symbol of evil thoughts, evil attitudes that crosses the minds of many people. She tried to defend herself, and that's it. It seems apparently nothing worse happened. Then this man goes to sleep in his bedroom, and it appeared all of a sudden another man, giving orders to him, very bossy, and waking up the guy, pushing the man to do something, but he wasn't in the mood of doing it. And it really looked to me, I might be wrong, but it could be a kind of abusive relationship between the boss and the employee, which is the impression I had. Then we can have the scene of the same man carrying something very heavy. He was struggling, and he was carrying two pianos with two dead donkeys, with two dead donkeys on it, and two priests. To me, people, come on, this is obvious. It is the weight of the state and of religion oppressing the common citizen. And he was struggling with this over him. Then the setting changed completely. We can see the same man from the couple. This man, he was shot, and we don't know the situation very well. It looks like a duel. But then the couple reunites in what seems to be a beach. And it's a kind of happy situation. We have a feeling of relief when we see that. The couple walking as if it was a good dream, the dream of peace, the dream of love that we all have. And then the scenery, it gets dirty, it gets messy, and we see people as if they were bad, the couple, as if they were bad and buried by the sand. As if time passed, time always passes, everything passes, and we pass away eventually. And it's a very summarized view from the film. There's a limit of length of video here, but there's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to this film, if it makes sense or not, about Salvador Dali, Luis Buñuel, surrealism. Back in early 20th century, it was in fashion among intellectuals all over the world to talk about the human mind, spirituality, and what crossed the mind of people and what made people having evil thoughts, and so on and so forth. It was an era of lots of intellectual discussions that we take for granted nowadays, but they were new back then. This film is extremely recommended. It only lasts 20 minutes. It's fast and it's extremely highly interesting. That's all for now, folks. See you.